now to the war in the Middle East. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he will push ahead with the takeover of Gaza City. He also says he will participate in renewed ceasefire talks. This comes as more than 200 faith organizations and non-governmental groups call for an investigation into a UN relief agency in Gaza, which they say is enabling Hamas. A letter asks for more United Nations support for the U.S.-backed Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. It also calls for a formal investigation into the UN Relief and Works Agency's operations in Gaza. Multiple reports accuse UNRWA of having ties to Hamas and other terror organizations. For more, we turn to Chapin Fay, spokesman for the U.S.-backed Gaza Humanitarian Fund. Thank you so much for joining us. Can you give me background on the Humanitarian Fund? When did it start and why was it important for it to exist?
Sure. The Gaza Humanitarian Foundation is an independent, neutral humanitarian aid organization with one mission and one mission alone: to feed the people of Gaza in a way that Hamas or any other armed force or actor cannot steal the aid. And we have done so to the tune of 132 million meals as of today. We began in May, so that's 132 million meals in less than 3 months with zero aid diversion. One of the main reasons we were created was in response to the prior legacy system, which was a failure because of diversion. By its own estimates, even currently now, as it's delivering aid, the United Nations has a 90% record of getting their aid diverted. We put meals directly into the hands of the people of Gaza, and we're proud of our record in doing that.
And this is a U.S. and Israel-backed effort?
So it is a United States-based nonprofit incorporated in Delaware. The only interaction we have with the government of Israel is that we are approved to operate as a humanitarian organization by the government of Israel, as is the United Nations and any other aid organization that wants to operate in Gaza. We are not affiliated with the government of Israel, and we do not take any funding from the government of Israel. We do work with the IDF to deconflict outside the sites. We are responsible for the safety and security of our sites as we deliver the aid. And the IDF, of course, is waging war and responsible for the rest of Gaza, the safety and security of the rest of Gaza.
Well, tell us a little more about the letter to the United Nations and some of the groups that are collaborating with signatures.
Sure. So just last week, over 200 international NGOs, some faith-based, some civil and humanitarian, over 200 of them from over 15 countries sent a public letter to the United Nations urging the United Nations and other international NGOs to collaborate with GHF. They requested collaboration in the form of logistics and financial support. They also requested that any organization that has policies in place that would hinder the GHF's work to stop those policies, and also to do an investigation into the past system and why aid was being diverted and unable to get to where it's going.
So what are the major concerns? I know you mentioned some of them, but are there any other major concerns with working with the UN Relief and Works Agency, also known as UNRWA?
Well, so GHF believes that more aid is the answer to many of the problems in Gaza. We are very happy to see that airdrops began a couple of weeks ago, but are concerned that those aren't 100% safe either. We are glad that the UN got off the sidelines a couple of weeks ago and started to move their trucks further into Gaza. But you can see on social media that it's creating a very unsafe situation. At best, thousands of desperate aid seekers, people in Gaza are swarming the trucks. The drivers are being pulled out. People are getting run over or trampled. And at worst, you see armed people like Hamas looting the trucks.
Really quick, has there been any response yet to your letter?
Reverend Johnny Moore has met with the United Nations. We do not have a response or a path forward yet. I believe those conversations are ongoing. He reported back to us that his meeting was productive. We have seen some of the rhetoric start to ratchet down against us as the world comes to realize that this is one of the most complex humanitarian crises of our lifetime, and it's happening in an active war zone. So you have to take special precautions, and you have to do things a little differently and uniquely, which is what GHF does. We innovate every single day. We have conversations every single day with the aid seekers. A lot of the methods we use are our ideas directly from the aid seekers. So we're going to keep doing that, and we're happy to work with anyone else more aid is the answer, and anyone willing to help us pump more aid into directly into the hands of the people who need it most, we're willing to work with you, and we would welcome that collaboration.
Well, I know everyone's grateful for your courageous work. Thank you so much. Chapin Fay, spokesman for the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, on why more than 200 groups are raising concerns over the UN Relief and Works Agency. Thank you.